Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's get straight into it today. We're looking at Turkey's new fighter jet, the KAAN. Big question. Is it really a fifth-generation aircraft?
Yeah, that's what everyone's asking.
Our source is an article titled, "Is Turkish Jet KAN Fifth Generation?" And our mission here is pretty clear. Figure out what makes a jet fifth gen and see if the KAN, fits the bill based on this article.
Right. And the article makes a key point early on. Yeah. True fifth gen isn't just about adding things later. It says they're built to be invisible from the start. So stealth is fundamental, baked right in.
Baked in. Okay, so not just a coat of special paint or something slapped on.
Exactly.
The article mentions the KAN has internal weapon storage, like the F-22, and, a sleek shape. How critical are those things for this inherent stealth?
Well, think about it. Anything sticking out metals, tanks, pods reflects radar signals, right?
Makes sense. Creates angles.
Precisely. So putting weapons inside and smoothing out the shape, it drastically cuts down those reflections. Basically, it makes the plane look much smaller or maybe disappear entirely on enemy radar. That's the goal, reducing the radar cross-section.
Got it. Okay, but the article flags a potential issue. The engines, it says the KAN is currently flying with engines almost identical to the F-16s, and the source calls that not ideal. Why is that a limitation?
Well, for true fifth-gen performance, you generally need more advanced engines. Think Super Cruise capability.
Flying supersonic without the afterburner blazing.
Exactly. Saves fuel, extends range, reduces heat signature. Plus, you want more power for maneuverability, efficiency for longer missions. The F-16 engines, while good, might not deliver that full package.
But there's a development path mentioned. Turkey's working on its own engines.
Yes, and that's crucial. The article really emphasizes this. They're developing more powerful, presumably more efficient domestic engines, specifically for the KAN.
So getting those new engines working and integrated, that's kind of the key to unlocking its full potential.
Absolutely. The source suggests that if they pull this off, it could significantly boost the KAN's performance range. Stealth characteristics like quieter operation potentially. It even hints that Turkey could be rewriting the rules if this engine development pans out successfully.
That's a bold claim, rewriting the rules.
It is. It speaks to the potential jump in capability.
And it's worth remembering, as the article points out, Turkey wasn't exactly new to this game. They built parts for the F-35, right?
Yeah, that's a really important piece of context. That F-35 program involvement means they have existing experience. They'd already be familiar with the tolerances, the materials, the complex manufacturing needed for modern stealth aircraft. It's the foundation.
Right, not starting from zero. And things seem to be moving fast. The KAN is actually flown already. That's a huge step.
A massive milestone, yes. First flight is critical.
And the timeline mentioned, the Turkish Air Force might start using them by 2028, with better versions coming later.
That timeline does seem ambitious, but it shows their determination. Getting from first flight to operational service by 2028 would be, quite rapid.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up based on the source. The KAN seems to have the design philosophy down, stealth shaping, the internal bays. These are core fifth-gen ideas.
Correct. The design intent is clearly there.
But the current engines are a placeholder, a limitation. The real test is whether these new domestically developed engines deliver.
That's the crux of it, yes. Success there is vital.
If they do, then based on this article, the KAN really could be considered a genuine fifth-generation fighter.
That seems to be the conclusion this source leans towards, contingent on that successful development path. The potential is undeniable.
So the final thought for you, listening. What does it mean for the bigger picture? If Turkey successfully fields the KAN as a true fifth-gen jet, joining that very small group of nations, what does that do to the global aerospace landscape? Does it change the benchmarks? Something interesting to think about. That's all for this deep dive.